Hi guys, and welcome back to the Padded Pedal Room. Today I'm going to show you how to MIDI control the Strymon Volante with the Headrush Flexprime. The things we're going to need obviously is our Headrush Flexprime, which we will put down here. And we need our Strymon Volante. Now, some of the most important cables are going to be the following cables. So one of the cables that we're going to need is this here, which is an 1/8 inch to 5-pin DIN. Now, these cables to come with the Headrush MX5, and unfortunately, they do not come with the Flexprime. This one here is from my MX5. So I'm only going to use one because I only want to send a signal from the Headrush to the Volante to control it. So basically, we'll send a signal from here to here to be able to switch our presets in there. If we take a closer look on the Headrush Flexprime, we have MIDI in, MIDI out. We're going to be plugging it here to the MIDI out because we want to be sending an out signal. Now, this unfortunately cannot be plugged into our Strymon Volante because a female cannot plug into the female one. We are going to need another cable, and we're going to need a cable like this one, which is a 5-pin to 5-pin. What we shall do is we will plug our female and male together here, and we will plug this side into our Volante, and we're going to plug it into the MIDI in as we're going to send in a signal. We're not going to be controlling out, and we're not going to be going out to another pedal, not for this particular case. It's something that can be done, but it's not something we're focusing on today. All right, so for our Volante, obviously we need the power cable, which we have our power supply that came with the Volante. How we're going to hook this up is we're actually going to hook up. There's multiple ways of doing it. If we wanted to, we can go into the effects loop, and then we could have more versatility of being able to move it within our loop. For that, we would need cables like this or others that go 1 to 2, or you can put jacks in, or you can have some with already the jacks there. And we would also need a TRS cable. And for the purpose right now, I just want to show the control. So what we're going to do is we're going to come out of the output of our Headrush Flexprime and go into the input of the Volante, and the Volante will be going into our interface or mixer. Basically, we're going to connect our guitar into our guitar input. I always have my expression pedal on the floor, so I like to put my expression pedal here as I keep this on my desk. And we have our left and rights, left and right that are going to be going into our Volante. So all the connections to the Headrush for this purpose is complete, with the exception of the power cable. And now we're complete. So all our cables are connected here. We're going to take these cables here, which are left and right, and we're going to connect them to our input of the Volante. And we're going to take our outputs, left and right, and we're going into our interface / mixer. So at this very moment, these two pedals are connected. And let's turn on our Flexprime. What's made this possible is the update to our 4.1, which has made controlling or sending MIDI signals out much simpler. Let's just grab a new rig. We're going to discard this one. Let's go here. Let's pick an amp. Let's go with clone. Let's go with super clone. Load super clone. Headrush. Amp and cab. Let's go with the lead 800. So that's loaded. Let's just go to the input and just take care of the threshold so that we don't hear noise. Our weapon of choice for today will be the Eastman DC62. So let's just listen what we got here. This is the Super clone. All right, now if we turn on the Volante, okay, so we can hear that they're connected and they're working. So how do we control the Volante with the Flexprime? We need to send a MIDI signal out so that this can receive the signal and change. First, we're going to take a look at the MIDI codes for the Volante as well as the Flexprime. This is the manual of the Strymon Volante, and here are the MIDI specifications. There's 3 banks, 0, 1, and 2, and you have 127 presets for each. I think we have more than enough. We're going to stick within the first bank, so we won't have to switch the banks. But if you need to switch the banks, you can always send the control signal. We're going to be focusing on the presets, changing presets. We're not going to focus on changing any of the rest of this. But if you want to see how to control your Volante, well, this is where all your MIDI control numbers are. So your numbers are here to control the different things, the different heads or echo levels or mechanics, where we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on presets. What I want to do is focus on when I change my rig, or if I have a scene in my Headrush Prime, I want it to use the delay or spring reverb as well from the Volante. So I want it to be able to switch the presets within the actual rig. So this is the rest of the presets. For those of you that just want to, you can take a screenshot of it if you need to look at it. All right, so let's go to Headrush Effects. We'll go to Flexprime. We will go to the downloads. Let's go here. We're going to go to the Headrush Flexprime 4.1 user guide. So this way we have all the updated information on the user. Here are the MIDI control signals. If you want to control your Flexprime with the MIDI controller, well, here's your control signals. Now, what we want to focus on is actually using our Flexprime to control our Volante. Seeing as it's not as clear and visible to see it over here on the screen, I'll do it in the user interface. So we have our amp. What we want to do is we want to go to our global settings. We want to make sure we go to MIDI. We do not need the MIDI through because we're not sending a signal to another pedal. We can put receive MIDI clock, but we're not. What this would do, it would receive the MIDI clock from something else. We don't want that, basically. Not at this moment, anyways. We want to send program changes. So send is already on. I had clicked it before. So if you're going to set, we're going to send. If we're going to receive signals from other pedals, we would put it on receive, but we're not receiving. We're only sending, basically. So we keep the send on. We leave this on Omni. So basically, like this, our Headrush Flexprime is set to send out signals. The Strymon's already set to receive them. It's receiving on the input. Now in our rig, if we go to, for example, our Assign, this is where we can send our MIDI signal. We're going to send our MIDI signal. We can send out 5 signals at the same time. We only need to send out 1 signal. What we're going to do is we're going to put test signal as our preset. And what we're going to do is it's going to be a program change, because you can choose control change, as I mentioned before, where you can change certain items. But we want a program change. We want to change the presets in the Strymon. So program change, channel 1, that's fine. And program 1, see, this goes from 0 to 127. So this is all the presets. As we said before, the Strymon has 3 banks. We're going to focus just in 1 bank. So there's 127 preset or 128 presets, 0 to 127, in the Strymon that we can access in that bank simply by choosing the ones that we want. So for example, let's say we pick 2. All right. What we're going to do is apply, and we're just going to save it to our current preset. At the moment, the way it's set, without doing anything else, if we were to go to another rig, let's just save this as test MIDI. All right, so test MIDI. So now we've gone down a bank. Let's go to our, where's our test? Here's our test MIDI. So we go to our test MIDI, and it has turned on. So just to show, we can hear that now. Okay. Now, if we wanted to create a scene, what we can do is we can go back to Assign. We'll go over here, and we'll go to our MIDI out, and we'll go to our test MIDI. Our test MIDI out. We create a scene. And basically, it picks program 2. There. In scene 1, our MIDI out is our test, which is program 2. And our second scene, we're going to pick MIDI, create new preset, save new presets called test 2. All right. So when we go here, we go to test 2. And program change. And we'll go to, I don't know, let's say 122. So I'm going to save that. So we have our scene over here. And it should switch. Let's make it a little bit bigger here. Let's look at it on the actual pedal. It should swap between different delays. We should see it switch. Switch to the next scene. Another way we can do this, instead of using a scene, let's go back here. We can change this to latch. And we do our MIDI out, test 1, and we can do 2 and set that to program, let's say whatever, preset is in 38. And if we save this, apply, save. So now, instead of actually doing a scene change, kind of comes to the same thing, it'll switch between the 2 presets that we have there, which is the same thing. But if you do it in the scenes, you can control other stuff with that as well. See, when I switch, you'll see the lights change on the Volante. That's how we do MIDI control using the Headrush Flexprime to control an external pedal, in this case the Strymon Volante. I'm glad that the upgrade 4.1 permits to send 5 signals, so we can control 5 different things on one pedal at the same time, simultaneously, or we can control 5 different pedals, or we can have a signal go out of the Flexprime and go through other pedals, and everything could change at the same time. So the MIDI control has made the Flexprime quite versatile in the fact that not only does it have everything that you need in it, if you want to use it to control stuff, you can do that as well. You can use it and program with your DAW so that you can control changes as you go through a song. At the same time, those MIDI signals could be sent out to lighting, for example, and you can have lights go on at certain points of a song or when you do certain things. possibilities are endless. I hope this helps some of you guys figure out how to just do some basic MIDI control with your Headrush Flexprime. If you guys have any questions or any comments, just drop them in the comments and I'll take a look at it. If there's anything I can help you guys with, it'd be my pleasure. I'll catch you guys in the next video.